All right, we got Manpower in the building today.
What's going on? What's going on?
I love you, bro. Now we're doing Remember the Fucking Face podcast. You already know?
I already know.
You know what I'm saying? So what we say when we say Remember the Fucking Face podcast?
Remember this fucking face. That's all I'm going to say to you. Remember this fucking face, man.
I can't forget your face, you know what I mean? And for a comment like this, usually a lot of people take it very insulting or whatever.
People can't take realness is the biggest problem out there, right? So at the end of the day, I know why you created this, and that's why I'm here.
I love it. Exactly. 100%. And that's why I asked for you, because you're such a special figure.
Thank you.
Out of city, Toronto.
Thank you, thank you.
You've been putting a lot of work. I know a lot of people actually know you.
I hope for the good.
For the good, because I actually met you through your social media about 6 years ago, maybe, when you first started doing the promotion. I actually literally, let's go back.
Let's do it.
Remember the Fucking Face podcast, coming to you guys with my boy, Manpower.
Remember this fucking face. That's all I got to say to you. Remember this face.
I love you. Now, this place, the podcast, is all about inviting legends out of the city of Toronto. People that actually made an accomplishment, an achievement that inspired people, inspired others, and make them feel a difference or start to admire your movement, to create a movement to themselves, just like, you know.
In each different industry.
It's an inspirational movement, you know. Thank you.
And yourself also.
Obviously, you know, this is one of the biggest things. That's why this podcast is happening today. But knowing that I actually found you online through Instagram with your videos and showing the demos and the detail of your work, because I look at details when I work. And everything I do within my life, it doesn't have to be jewelry. Anything outside my box of business, I look at the detail, even when I buy a T-shirt with stitches. What made you, or how did it start, if you don't mind? Manpower, how did the whole idea?
Honestly, the God-honest truth is, you know, I used to be a street guy. Somebody owed me some money. They were in the demolition game. They had a company. Fresh out. Needed something else to do with my life, you know. I lost my daughter right before I started this company.
Your first daughter, or?
No, my second daughter. So for
me... Well, sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That's big.
And, you know, what really changed my vision and everything was, at the time, I had a 2-year-old. And when they would come visit me in jail, and just seeing them behind that glass would really just change my whole perspective on everything. Because I missed my daughter from walking.
Wow.
And I saw her walking for the first time behind a glass. So imagine now you as a father. You can't hold them. You can't grab them. You can't.
That's crazy.
You can't have that joy with them.
Wow. That's such a feeling, you know.
Oh man,
you're gonna relate to a lot of people that's gonna watch this podcast.
Yeah, and you know, like this guy owed me money. He again, he didn't have any money. That's the story on the streets. You know how that is. A lot of you guys, and he had a demolition company. So basically, I started working with him, going through it. Obviously, learned what I learned. From that point, I left him. Just decided, you know what, this is not really my thing. He doesn't know how to run a company. And any street guy out there, you guys know how you are with numbers, how you are with how strict you are, how you are with clients, how you do your math. And
rules is number one in business.
Right? So
yes.
I applied all that street knowledge that I had and I learned over the years into a business.
And that's a lot of pressure to a lot of people, because if you're not a street person, it's a bit of a difference, you know.
Of course,
what I mean?
100%.
Carrying a business like a demo business, because you know you don't know who you're dealing with, who's gonna come into the site, steal tools. Have you had people stealing tools from you?
100%. About a month ago, we just had a site.
Can you sit back, relax? I want to bring that back here.
All right.
Can we get this water right in here and here? Pour it for me, please. Yes, let's get it.
Yeah, like about a month ago we had a site but it happens every couple of months.
Yeah.
In reality, do I get angry? Obviously, I'm going to get frustrated and pissed off, but you know what? The way I look at it is that person needed it more than I did.
100%.
That person is going through something. That person, maybe with those tools, just put food on the table for their family.
Wow, because in construction business, everything's open. The bosses, the site, the supervisor cannot be watching every single move.
100%.
And your jobs are big. Now, I remember you starting up your business as a demo company, and now I see you expanding because I've seen your vision. I met you, and since I met you, it was a very simple way to reach out to you. I came back from Miami. I sent a message to you on DM. You were so fast to reply back because it was early morning. I was in bed still. And then you got me so excited, and we were going back and forth, and we exchanged numbers, and you literally came to the building the next day or the same day.
Yeah, right away.
Not a lot of people like this, huh?
Again,
how do you because a lot of people, they think when people DM them or message them, oh, I don't know him, I don't want to. But I'm like that. When people follow me, I say thank you for the follow.
course,
I send out
100%.
messages. I try to reply to every message on time, right away, and make them feel that they're talking to me direct. But how did you? Because you've been through so much. Like, you had your daughter lost. Now this is crazy. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
You started your life from coming out of jail, not knowing what's going on for you in this world.
Yep.
Losing your baby, then coming into a business with a partner that doesn't follow the rules.
100%.
And it's morals. It's not rules. That's
you
what
said
makes
it right.
it.
It's morals. You know what? I remember when I started on my own after, and I just messaging different people, DMing different people, and then they wouldn't reply, right? Because they thought they were at a certain level.
Exactly.
Right?
I understand.
And now I've surpassed those people, like, by far. But I remember how I felt as a person starting off, because I answer about 2,000 to 3,000 DMs a day. Kevin will say it to anybody. He sees my DMs. And I just remember that feeling that I got when I was just asking a question about something.
Yes.
And I didn't get a reply.
Yes. I understand.
From that point on, I answer every single DM. Good, bad, I don't care what it is.
You're better than me in answering, because sometimes I take a day to reply. But you're so much better. This podcast is talking straight shots.
But I'll tell you right now, you know why I got that?
Having to have that much amount of messages, because I do have a lot of messages too. They know my thumbs now started to.
I got that from back in the day. I don't know what people use today, but everybody used to use Blackberries and EncroChat.
BBM.
Just you know what I mean. So we call it zapping back in the day. So I'd be continuously
good. I remember.
Like, it was nonstop. So that's why I answer every phone call. I answer every text. Everything.
But you remember back in the day, the actual old phones, they had 3 different letters.
How about that one?
Oh my God, that's the BlackBerry for real. That's the bigger one that they brought in. I miss BlackBerry. I actually,
so simple.
BBM was my biggest business interaction that I ever had. This podcast is all.
I just fucking lost it, bro.
You have a big head, I know.
Yeah, I know, bro. Sorry, but
you have a big head. Anybody in the construction business has a big head, no?
All right, let's get back into this.
So I actually come back from Miami. I DM you because I had a potential video with you.
That's
and
right.
We actually did the recording. It just what stopped me now not being able to reach out to Miami as I'm waiting on my administrative processing.
It's coming.
Papers coming up, and it's normal. So I'm waiting, but we did the shooting for Miami Ice, and we had a sick idea, and you came through and you was ready to go. Now, your demo company started as a demo.
Yep.
But now, after I met you, and you went to Miami and you heard what I had feelings about Miami,
Yep.
and you helped me out with our complex that we're building over there, and that was awesome. And it took you 2 visits to establish contractors and people around you in Miami, not just to do demo, to actually build up. And that's what you've been doing here. Now you're offering all type of businesses. How can you actually organize yourself? Like, how does your team work with you?
Honestly, one thing I realized, just being in business, you're only as good as the team. That's what it is. Period.
Yeah.
I treat every team member as a partner. I don't treat one different than the other, and I see how you are here too with everybody.
Yeah.
I just focused on building the right team to not only handle everything here in Toronto, but now in Miami. So we opened up now in Naples, Florida. So our office is now starting under renovation. From there, we have a couple of projects that are going to be starting out in Fort Lauderdale. Mm-hmm. So in that sector, yes, I'm doing demolition in those areas, but I'm also building down there. So
I see, because I know some of the people that you actually presented on your videos, and I see the movements. It's crazy.
But hold on, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You pushed me into it, eh?
I love it because
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
When I arrived to
you pushed me into it, eh?
I love it.
You pushed me. It was like, hey, man.
Because it's reality. In the next 15 to 20 years, Miami is going to be the section of
100%.
business and life, because
100%.
Florida was very cheap before. Houses is cheap. People are very poor there, but the people that have money that goes to Florida is the people that goes to visit, stay there for the winter time, from New York, Toronto, Montreal.
Snowbirds, right?
Yeah, they go there for the summertime or winter time there to be able to enjoy the sun and stuff like that. But now since COVID happened, a lot of companies has moved their establishment to Florida because of the tax. It's free tax.
Let's talk about that.
There's no income tax. There's
that's
no
what
nothing.
it is, exactly.
So now you dig into the opening the business and you realize how much saving you can make. Does that make you know that Miami could be the next Toronto in the next 15 years? Because there has been a lot of shift in...
I think Miami will surpass Toronto in about 5 years. I don't even think 15.
Because you remember Toronto 25 years ago was blank. There was nothing.
100%.
It was only CIBC, TD Bank,
100%.
Royal Crown.
I think Canadians are starting to really open their eyes
Yeah.
on what's going on with, especially our government,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is screwing the country. So I think a lot of people, at the end of the day, have started to realize that and realize that their money could go a little bit longer out in Florida.
That's true. You stretch it there.
Yeah,
Wow.
you could really stretch it. And any entrepreneur, you know what? And again, guys, the ones that are watching, don't look at, well, I got a record, I got this. It took me 10 years to get my stuff clean.
Because you're a clean person, no matter whatever happened.
Yeah,
you,
like, listen, it
you
doesn't
cannot
matter
hold
what your
that.
past is. At the end of the day, you go through the right channels, you get the right pardons, people to help you out. So don't think you're limited. This is another thing I'm going to say, because for the longest time, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm never going to be able to go down to the States.
Doors.
It took me 11 years to get down there, right? So don't also in your own mindset just give up on a dream that you may have. But yeah, no, 100%. I think it's the next biggest thing. I think from people that want to invest money, from properties to, look how many entrepreneurs are in Miami.
A lot.
And
I met a lot because when I landed in Miami, the first day, it took me 2 days to make my first sell, $58,000 American.
see?
It was 2 days, and I remember I recorded it on a video and I posted it on the story. That is my first 2 days in Miami, and I've already have accomplished my first custom design. That was a big custom design, and I finished it within 2 weeks because I wanted everybody to see that
Yeah, of
this is not
course.
bullshit, because
Of
I got no
course.
time for this, you know what I mean? Now, there has been, there's back and forth with a lot of companies and people, and social media has made you get closer to people to get to know who they are before you even shop with them or deal with them or communicate with them.
Yeah, 100%.
And you were able to make me follow you, and I got attracted to your videos and your Instagram before I even met you. So there was something special about you.
Thank you.
Now, and slowly after I followed you, I started to see so much different companies and demo business. Walking out of the truck the same way you walk out.
Fuck, I knew he was going to go there right now.
and literally like trying to use your slogan but in a different way. And
Of
I've had
course.
jewelers that try to use my slogan because they know the slogans is not easy to create.
Of course.
And when you're a bullshitter, your slogans can never fit you if it's that tough. Now, how do you consume all this energy around you, knowing, because I know it's gonna appear on your Instagram and everywhere. So
Yeah,
tell me what's
yeah.
going on. I want to know. Talk
Man,
your shit.
I
Talk your shit. Don't be shy. This is a different podcast.
I gotta be careful because the last time I shot out, he was a bitch and he got his lawyers involved, right?
Yeah, but fucking bitches is all over.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But
That's not the word ladies.
listen,
that's
man,
the word.
like, I've
that's
called-
the word men. You know what I mean? That's
I've called out a couple of guys and I've actually called them directly because I'm a man.
But
right?
that's the only
That's-
way.
that's-
Like when I
that's the
have an
only
issue,
way.
it's only better to deal
Yes,
with it one to
so
one.
I've called out guys and not called out on social media, but I've actually called them on the phone. Right?
Yeah, it's better that way.
And they act all stupid. Oh, I didn't know I was using your slogan. I'm just like, listen, man, I invested a lot of money in what I do. The slogans that I have are trademarked. So you have two choices. Take it down or I'm going to spend every fucking penny to ruin you. It's the way it is.
To ruin somebody, you don't need. In my business, I always have people attack me directly, and I never attack anybody directly or mention names.
Yeah.
But I do call these people directly,
You have to.
And because I've been around in the city for so long, and I have a big name, and I love everybody in my city, and I've always solved my issues directly. Me and
Only way.
one-on-one. Even if you have 20 people around you, if
only
I
way.
am the one, we have to go to the side. Let's talk it out first.
Yeah.
Because that's a real gentleman,
Of course.
But to ruin somebody in the process of just ruining them, how are you going to ruin them? Break the price? Break their tools? How do you actually do it? Can you
Listen,
tell me? Or
At the end of
Tell
the
me
day,
your style of ruining somebody.
my standard is that I would just do the job for fucking free. And I could do it over and over and over again until their name is just done.
not everybody can say that. I'm able to do that because I have my own factory. So we do a lot of stuff, return and make
you know
it
what I
back.
mean? If I really wanted to, at the end of the day, I think what has really excelled myself is once a client has dealt with me, and the clients that I do have, the general contractors that I do have, understand that there is a difference. And just like in your game, there's a huge difference.
You come through right away, do you?
100%. And we have the staff for it. I'm not like your average demo guy that works out of a pickup truck and just has tools. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like hops out with the do-rag and my pants down to my ankles.
I
You know
see,
what I
I
mean?
see, I see.
We have full team, like office staff, project managers. We have trucks on there. We have service trucks out there. Any customer that I've ever lost over price has come back.
Okay, now comparing yourself, one of the biggest construction company that I admire actually is Rafat.
Different things.
But his concept was he built it correctly and he went
100%.
after government contracts.
100%.
And now he won the highways, he won the roads.
Yeah, that's amazing. I met him a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I have so much respect for what he's done.
Very nice dude.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice dude. I hear so much great things about him.
Yeah.
And to see someone, because I'm from Toronto for so
Yep.
long, and I've seen Toronto accelerate and rise up in the construction life, like condos. When they first built the first condos on Bayview and 401, these two brown ones.
Yes.
With the green on top.
Yep.
That was literally the first concept of condos getting built in Toronto. And it was selling for the same price as houses. And a lot of people said, oh, this is not going to be a good
This is
business.
crazy.
And literally look at North York right now. We're exactly between 401, Bayview, or Leslie now, Too Young, all the way down to Major Vac. It's all buildings. So,
But even that industry has changed for a lot of people.
but everybody found his path.
Oh,
because
listen, everybody's got their niche.
The country look, we talked about the government,
Yeah.
but every era of time there was some type of accomplishment.
Of
Every
course.
government has established
Of
for
course,
us,
of course.
And the wealth in Canada has become much bigger, with the Liberals. But I love conservative because I was conservative. You know what I mean? And then a switch happened, COVID happened, too much pressure, and now we're getting taxed out right, left, and center.
Hard.
Like instead of
Bad.
breaking the tax
Bad.
down and making people go
No,
out,
it's getting worse.
yeah. But how do you deal with it to survive, basically? If you're in the construction business, because now all constructions are almost shutting down, developers are not selling. How do you control your business?
I've been very fortunate. I deal with a lot of general contractors that are well established, that have been around for a very long time. I believe, we average in Toronto 15 to 1,600 projects a year. And that's more than anybody else.
I
in my
believe you
industry.
because Yorkdale Mall, you have Tiffany, you have Chanel.
I got it.
Like
all.
every construction site
but
that's going on
Where
in
people have to
Yorkdale Mall.
understand is that I'm getting these from general contractors that work with me, have worked with me, that know what I'm
And they
capable
trust
of.
you.
Of course. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, if something goes wrong on a site, they know that I will back it. If something breaks, they know I will back it.
100%.
So, and I think that's a lot of issues that, kind of like yourself, something goes wrong with one of your pieces, you're
I go
backing it.
crazy.
Yeah, like that, but that's it. You're
lose my
fixing
mind.
it. It doesn't matter where other people can't do that.
No, do you know what it is? It's passion. If you love your job. Like sometimes I built the house, I built this building, and I'm building the Miami one and my parents' home, and I did like some stuff and I learned, and my dad is an engineer, mechanical engineer. All his life is building. So I learned so much going through the blueprints, going through the process.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see people like while they're doing the wall, let's say the drywall, and that little corner up top is not aligned, and they try to just say it's okay
Yeah, they tape
and
it on
move
it.
on.
Yeah, they don't care.
Excuse me, but if I'm working in my own field or I am the drywall guy and I do a job and I see there was a little mistake there, I will just unscrew and try to level
hold
it and
on,
make it
but
perfect.
that-
Because my eyes will bother me because when I finish the job, I'm going to still look at that corner because I've seen it. But what do you say to people that actually do construction and they see a mistake and they move on trying to continue their job and saying maybe they're not
So
gonna
where
see
we
it?
got to be.
How you feel to yourself
Listen,
if you see something?
at the end of the day, it used to upset me, and stuff that I don't even do in my own trade.
But how do you go about it? I'm not,
Honestly,
yeah.
if again, not on
If
my
you
own
see somebody
projects.
pass it.
This is
from
the
your
thing.
guys.
Oh no, my guys are very different.
I'm just saying, if you see that one.
From if it was my own guys.
Yeah, like if you see that one trying to continue, what do? You
No, I
make him
lose my mind.
continue
No,
and then take
no.
apart or make
No,
him stop?
No. But again, it comes down to who your boss is, how you train your employees. Because my guys have all the love at what we do.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. I've had a lot of mistakes happens in pieces that I make, okay? And sometimes
But you correct it.
Listen, let me tell you. So I go downstairs, I overview the work. I see a mistake, I try to bring that to their attention, like earlier, how we're doing the setup, And you bring it to their attention in a nice way, making them see, like, what did he say? Oh, he sees something wrong. And then you continue working. I let them continue working, and when they finish, either I delete or remake again. They all know me here. Either I delete, I don't care, because there's one mistake that's happened.
Got you.
Or I let you do the job and then make you break it. So as an artist, do you understand what I'm saying? So it makes you feel like what type of person I am, because I want the detail to start from beginning. so that when I finish the base and I come to completion, I know the job is done correctly with no mistakes.
See, for myself, what I do is I
What do you
stop
do?
them,
Yeah.
show them. Because at the end of the day, not everybody has your experience like they have my experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't let them finish the whole project. I rather stop it in that track.
Correct.
Say, hey man, this. I want you to do it like this, and this is where you screwed up, and that's it.
Have you had a day where a job site you were working on and you left for 2 days or 3 days with a family thing or emergency, and you went back and the job is done, but the wall is done like this or done a little bit further?
But
Or
remember,
have you ever taken a hammer and started to hammer and go crazy?
But I do demo, so I'm not building anything. So don't forget that here.
Ah.
But I've had situations where
So tell me your situations in the demo.
Yeah.
so-
So let me just tell you a situation. Like
Yeah.
I'll go in. So let's say they're demoing all the ceramic tiles on the floor. I leave. I come back 2 days later, and there's a little bit of grout, concrete. Let's just say that's still on the wood,
Okay.
right? So now you want a perfect, smooth finish.
Correct,
Because
because-
now the next tiler who's going to come in, he's got to make it perfect.
And it might crack the tiles too.
So again, I've gone back, and I literally just video call the guys, and then I bring them back. But I bring them back on their own time.
Yes, because now it's a problem.
Because now I have to explain it to them again what my excellence is, what I'm looking for. Because I don't rush anybody.
so you do.
So
it
if a
good.
job takes an extra day, I'm cool with it. But I will not accept flaws.
Good.
That's it. I can't.
You know, here it's not about. I've made mistakes in my life.
We've all made mistakes.
And I corrected it.
Yep.
And I always honor the mistake to be corrected because it makes me feel so much better in myself than having to have somebody lose faith in me.
Of course.
Because I'm a person of a long-term relationship guy. And I really cherish and adore when I see someone I know for 20 years plus and I haven't seen them for 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a memory to everything. And every age had its own fun time and
Yeah.
bad time. But I'm at this age right now. I'm doing this podcast to be able to send a message to the people that are running a business and all they think about is their self. The more I gain, the better it is for me. Because it's fast. But it's more here people want to hear me out how I became this guy. Because when we came here, we had only $8,000 as a whole family coming in from Iraq. Big war, landing in here. We lived in White Oaks, poverty places in Whitby, 1805, 100 White Oaks. Anybody knows it from Whitby anyway. And we were taking the go bus from Whitby all the way to Scarborough Town Center to the flea market to open up the flea market little booth with a little bit of silver and my mom's gold. That's how it started.
Amazing.
And selling off the catalog.
Yeah.
And it picked up. But it was a long time.
100%.
Do you know? 100%. And I was always like looking at future. And every time I remember my dad when we started, when I sold a ring for $60, my first ring, and the lady was a fair size. I had to size the ring 3 sizes up. It costed me $60. So now I have to charge. It's like what am I doing in here? There's no money right now. Gold back in the day was $200 something an ounce at the time, 2000. And then my dad goes to me, "No, you cannot charge the lady. You pay the $60 for the repair, right? The ring costed her $60, but you give them free service for the rest of their life so they can come back." I had an issue with it, and then he looked at me. He's like, "Son, you will know later on. Spent a little extra, but when people have confidence in you and your business, they will be back." And looking at the picture right now, today I had another podcast earlier with another guy that's over 20 years been with me, and all his jewelry is with me now. He's an old man. He couldn't make it. He's coming back next week for Tuesday, which is good for me because I wanted to keep space for you. But the idea, I knew the struggle. I used to look at other people driving cars, living their life, but I always made sure I handled my own pocket. I never waited for somebody to give me a shot or give me a sandwich. And I worked toward making my money. I remember every 2 weeks I was getting paid $280 where I started with because it's a family business, so we want to build the business now.
Of course.
And then, going through the years. But that was my pay every 2 weeks, so I had to manage myself, So the longevity in business, that's what I'm looking for. How do you see it in yourself? Do you see yourself as a longevity as a contractor? Because when I built my house, I went to Miami, I turned all the heater off, I turned the water off from the main.
Yes.
And then when I was coming back here, it was the 2 days before, it was just getting freezing minus 20 plus. And I told my brother-in-law to go to the house to turn the heat on and turn the water. He couldn't. The whole house was frozen. Even the wood stretched. I had to fix so much. And I called the contractor that built my house 3 years ago. I was like, you leave your family home and you go sleep in my house. And you go bring all the heaters, you heat up the whole house, and you don't leave until you make sure there's no water damages. This guy actually left his wife.
I remember.
And slept there in my house for 3 days.
That was crazy.
That's a real guy.
100%.
That's a story for me, I have to tell you. But how do you see yourself? Like, if I call you, tell you I have a problem, I need your help, how fast can you be there for me?
Where am I? In Miami or am I here?
Well, you have a full team. I'm not talking me and you.
Talking
the clients.
Well, a client usually gets service.
I like to pressure. This is the best thing. I want to hear your answers.
My clients get the ultimate service. So my phone's on 24 hours a day. But we are day and night, though, at Manpower. So there's really nothing that we can't attend to or get to right away. Because we have day shift, night shift. So for us
My story is an exceptional story.
No, of course. That's different. That's a homeowner that... Sorry, as to him, you're his client, you're the homeowner. And
it's Kilani.
He loves me so
of
much,
course. Yeah.
But will another contractor do that? Probably not.
No.
I'll be honest with you. From what I've seen, there might be a handful that will.
I think I do have.
You know, I've had situations where somebody called me once, and let's just say their boiler blew up, and it was water all over the basement. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I literally got dressed and I went there.
Sick.
Woke up my team. They went there. We've had building incidences where, again, we don't even have anything to do with the building, but they're like, hey, my pipe burst in my bathroom. We only do demo here, right? So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I went down, called a plumber, I organized everybody to take care of the situation.
It's true. I keep mixing you up between building.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. So again,
the first wall you demoed.
The first one I demoed?
Yes. When you opened the business, was it you or was it somebody else?
No, it's me. I only stopped doing demo 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. What's the biggest hammer you ever used?
Like just a sledgehammer. That's it, man. Just sledgehammer it up.
Strong, eh?
But no, the last job that I actually did was about 2.5 years ago. Massive home. The general contractor wanted me on the job. He goes, I don't really care what it's going to cost me. I don't care what your hourly rate is. I know you're the owner of the company, but I want you on the machines. Yeah. And I did it. And that's it.
I like that. I would actually do that with you because even when you went to Miami 2 or 3 times into the complex.
Oh, bro, I have to check.
You was the guy.
I have to. I'm hands-on. I'm very hands-on. So.
Now, for for new businesses.
Yes.
People that want to do construction. What's your best advice?
Honestly, the only advice I could really say to you in construction is whatever you say, do. Believe it or not, it's the simplest thing. Whatever you promise, do. If you don't know something, if you don't know something, ask someone. Yeah. Don't try to portray to be something that you're not, because honestly, you're just going to fail.
Now, when it comes down to someone would call you or text you or DM you and ask you, I need an advice from you, I'm running this business just like yours, would you offer them an advice?
I do.
Good.
I don't to the people that have tried to mock me or steal my style. But for the average younger guy getting into it, I help them out. There's a gentleman in New York that I help out a lot.
Good.
So, 100%.
Now, since we met and we posted at each other, how many people reached out to you telling you what's going on with you and Kilani?
Oh, tons, man. Tons. I think people, again, it's the nosiness, right? At the end of the day, there's two kings in different industries.
You felt it because when we first met, it made a big buzz now.
Oh, man. Everybody went nuts.
What's the funniest story ever happened to you on a site?
The funniest story that ever happened to me was straight up. I went to a house. The GC gave me the wrong address. But the fucking lockbox was the same lockbox to get in. It was a house that was for sale.
Oh, my God.
And we started ripping out the fucking kitchen, and it was the wrong house.
Oh.
And a lot of people are not even going to talk about that. I'm just being real. What are the chances? What are the... But you know what happened was the real estate agent was selling both houses side by side.
Oh, my God.
But he gave the wrong address to us on our work order.
That's exactly how we wanted to do Miami Ice. Can you imagine?
So we got in. At the end of the day, the homeowner was actually like, you know what? Luckily, I was going to fucking take out the kitchen anyways because we're selling the house, right? So I was like... Oh, my God. But that's the God honest truth. I've had other incidences where this is a really bad one, which I really feel bad for. Not with us.
Yeah,
there was a house that we took down. No, we took down a house by hand, and the GC forgot that the front door of that house was handmade by a relative, but like generations.
A door that's been passed on. I know these type of doors. Yeah,
Oh,
hard,
man,
solid
and
wood.
we ended up throwing it out. I felt so bad, but like,
And a lot of demo sites, a lot of people think when you're demoing, you're gonna collect some type of unique things to keep on the site to sell or paint or shape. Would you ever do that when you see like something unique, like a unique window, a unique something?
So the only thing I do have is I have the first C&E ticket ever printed. So I have that in good. It's literally brand new. I have the first Toronto map ever. I have the first coupon book, which has inside of it diamond rings, actually, for 5 cents. And the book is from 1941. So it was a booklet that people were using as a coupon. And it's crazy because it's like 1 cent off. The ring was like $5 for a 1 carat.
Wow, look at the price.
So houses for $1,400, $2,000, like just craziness.
Yeah, I know that's in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah, I have this little booklet that I found in a shoebox, in a metal little shoebox. It looked like behind the wall.
Have you ever found something behind walls and drywall?
Oh yeah,
hitting?
we've found guns.
Wow, what do you do when you find
We
something?
call the cops.
Correct.
Yeah, they come in, they pick them up. In Innisville, we found 12 shotguns in a ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah, so
People forget or
now
gets
I wonder.
past them.
Now I know why the wife went missing, but it's okay.
Okay, I love this. I want to tell you something. Since I actually talked to you, many people try to act like, oh, Kilani, what do you have to do with demo? Like, what does this has to do with your business? What makes you like, you know what I mean, like talk to this guy? But I want to tell you guys something. Like, the best thing about life is meeting and exploring different mentalities, different people that have achieved a name to themselves and made a difference. And not only in people's lives, made a difference in their own life, made a lot of people attracted. And nowadays, social media, if you're not a genius, you cannot make it. Content now, people are what they're doing. They search for the highest viewed or highest rhythm videos, and they try to copy it so they can post it. But we don't do that. And what I love about you, that you always continuing to bring in nice, amazing social media posts that keeps us all excited. I'm so proud to be with you. Remember
Thank
the
you, my
fucking
brother.
face.
Thank
Don't you forget this fucking face
Do
podcast.
not forget this fucking face. But
Yeah.
again, it's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure with me and you, bro. And this podcast is going to be dropped, and it's going to drop, and it's going to make a lot of people want to watch it. Love
Let's
you.
go, baby.
Let's go. That's the slogan, huh?
That's mine. That's it.